Hello friends, welcome back to VOWIAS. Welcome to the discussion on daily MCQ. Today is 13th of January 2022 and now we are going to discuss 5 MCQs based on the current affairs. तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं. But before we begin, a small information. The PDF of our discussion will be available in our Telegram channel. The Telegram channel details are there in the description. You can just go and download it from there. Okay. Now let's quickly begin. Let's look at the first question. Consider the following statements regarding insulin. First one, insulin is a hormone created by the pineal gland. Second one, it helps store glucose in the liver, fat and muscles. So we have to choose the correct statement. A 1 only, B 2 only, C both 1 and 2 and D neither 1 nor 2. So here the correct answer is B 2 only. Okay. So here if you see in the first statement it is given that insulin is basically produced by the pineal gland. But if you see insulin, it is generally produced by the pancreas. Okay, so that's why the first statement is wrong. It is the pancreas which will produce the pineal gland. So recently it has been successful 100 years after the discovery of insulin. This discovery and insulin's rapid clinical development effectively transformed type 1 diabetes from a fatal diagnosis into a medically manageable chronic condition. So that's why this was in news. And as I said, insulin is basically, it is secreted by pancreas. Okay. And they are destroyed when a person is suffering from type 1 diabetes. Insulin is a hormone created by the pancreas that control the amount of glucose in your bloodstream at any given moment. It also helps store glucose in the liver, fat and muscles. Finally, it regulates the body metabolism of carbohydrate, fat and protein. That is the thing about the insulin. Now let's look at the second question. Consider the following statements. First one, the Rann of Kachchh divided into two parts, namely the Great Rann and the Little Rann, is unique example of Holocene sedimentation. Second one, it is connected to Arabian Sea through Kori Creek in the west and the Gulf of Kachchh in the east. Here you have to choose the correct option. The correct option is C, both 1 and 2, because the Rann of Kachchh basically divides into two parts, namely the Great Rann and the Little Rann. Okay, and this depends on the salt availability, salt condition. This is a unique example. Okay, and here the second one, it is given that it is connected to Arabian Sea through the Kori Creek in the west and Gulf of Kachchh in the east, and this is also true. So the Deen Dayal port crossed 100 million mark recently. So Kandla, which is officially called as Deen Dayal port, is a seaport in the town of Kachchh district of Gujarat. So that's why this was the news. And the Kachchh desert, basically if you see, it covers a vast area of about 45,000 square kilometers. Is bounded to the north and northwest by Sindh, that is Pakistan, west and southwest by Arabian Sea, and northeast by Rajasthan. The Rann of Kachchh comprises of the Holocene sedimentation, that is the Great Rann and the Little Rann. Okay, and also it is connected to Arabian Sea through the Kori Creek in the west and Gulf of Kachchh in the east, and is very close to the sea level. The wildlife sanctuary situated in the Indian state of Gujarat is the largest wildlife sanctuary in the country. It is spread in the entire area of Little Rann of Kachchh, where small grass covered areas known as bites, which forms the flora and is an important source to support the fauna of this region. Okay, that's the important information. Now let's look at the third question. Consider the following statements with respect to the biomining. First one, biomining is the process of using microorganisms to extract metal of economic interest from rock ores or mine waste. Second one, biomining methods can also be used for effective disposal of legacy waste. Which of the above statements are correct? A 1 only, B 2 only, C both 1 and 2 and D neither 1 nor 2. So biomining. So here the correct answer is C both 1 and 2, because biomining is the process of using microorganisms to extract metals of economic importance. So as the name suggests, bio means the microorganisms, that is biology related, and second one is mining. The biomining methods can be used for effective disposal of legacy waste. This is also true. So 3,000 ton of waste to be handled per day at the Brahmapuram waste plant in Kerala using this biomining technique. It is a process of using microorganisms to extract metals of economic interest from the rock ores or mine waste. The biomining technique may also be used to clean up sites that may have been polluted with the metals. It is usually used for old dumped waste that remains partly or fully decomposed state with no segregation in existence between the wet or dry waste. It is a very cost effective method, and it is done by dividing the garbage heap at the site into suitable blocks to let the air percolate into the heap. and as a result, the leachate, which is water in the heap with suspended solid particles, is drained off, and microbes are sprayed into the heap to initiate biological decomposition. The waste is turned over several times in order to devoid the waste to leachate as much as possible. This biological decomposition of waste decreases the volume of waste by about 40%, and this method is proposed by the Central Pollution Control Board for the effective disposal of the legacy waste. That is the old waste and all. Now let's look at the fourth question. So this question is with regarding DNA. Two statements are given. eDNA is the nuclear or mitochondrial DNA that is released from an organism into environment through secreted fecus, mucus and gamete, shed skin and hair, etc. Second one, WHO has launched global eDNA project to study the vulnerability of species to climate change at marine world heritage sites. You have to use the correct statement, A1 only, B2 only, C both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 or 2. So regarding eDNA, the first statement is right. Whereas second statement it says that WHO has launched the global eDNA project. This is the wrong statement. It is UNESCO which has launched the eDNA project, UNESCO. Okay, so that's why A1 only is the correct answer. So DNA floating in air can boost diversity conservation efforts across the world, two independent studies has found, and researchers from two teams have independently showed that eDNA, that means environmental DNA, can potentially identify and monitor terrestrial animals. Researchers from two teams have independently shown that environmental DNA can potentially identify and monitor terrestrial animals. Okay, and as I said, the other information is given here, just go through it. The global eDNA project is launched by UNESCO to study the vulnerability of species to climate change at the marine world heritage sites in October 2021. So that's why this becomes important for us. Okay, now let's look at the fifth question. This question is with regarding the right against exploitation. These type of questions are generally asked in the UPSC exam. First question, first statement, prohibition of traffic in human beings and forced labor. Second one, abolition of untouchability. Third one, protection of minority interest. And fourth one, prohibition of employment of children in the factory and mine. So right against exploitation. Basically, there are two articles under this right against exploitation. They are Article 23 and 24. So if you see this, if you don't remember exactly, you can use this elimination method to just eliminate the options. So the minorities, this protection of minorities, basically Article 29 and 30 deals with the protection of minorities. So third statement has to be eliminated. So we are left with A and C. So here 2 is common, abolition of untouchability. So this abolition of untouchability, basically it comes under right to equality and not under this right against exploitation. So correct answer is C, 1 and 4. That is prohibition of trafficking, human trafficking, and prohibition of child employment. Okay. So here right to equality, that is Article 14 to 18. Right against exploitation, Article 23 to 24. Cultural and educational rights, Article 29 30. Just they are given here. You can pause and go through them once. Okay. Right. So this is the last question. And guys, before I leave, a small information. You can get Vision Monthly Magazine summary at just 499 rupees. Because these summaries, in fact, they will help you to clear your exam. They will help you to cover the current affairs very effectively in a very short way. So try to utilize these summaries to the maximum extent. You can go and download these summaries. You can subscribe to these summaries from our Telegram channel. The Telegram channel details are there in the description. Okay, you can get January 21 to May 2022 summaries at just 499 rupees. Okay, you can just go and check it. So that's it guys from our side. I'll see you again tomorrow with 5 more MCQs. Till then, keep studying and stay tuned. Jai Hind.